Hi, my name's Prue and I'm here today to talk to you about perfectionism. Now, I'm actually a reformed perfectionist. I used to be dreadful. Now, my way of curing myself is not something I'd recommend for anyone else. I started doing some further study and I did a PhD, a doctorate, almost finished. But when I started this thing, I really didn't have an idea of how much work it was. And I realised that if I was going to do this thing to my usual ridiculously high standards, so if I was going to do it perfectly, it would take me forever. It would consume my entire life. So I actually had to teach myself to do things at a standard that I wasn't comfortable with to start with. I had to lower my standards to something that was more realistic. Now, what I've since discovered, which is what a lot of perfectionists find, is that your idea of lower standards is actually often other people's idea of high standards. So, for example, I did a paper recently that I presented in Canada. Now, to me, I really did not do very much of a high standard of level on this paper. So it was way below what I would normally be comfortable with. I'd normally go over it to the nth degree, get every word perfect over and over and over. So I thought, it's a pretty average paper, but that's all the time I've got to do it. But then I discovered that I actually won an outstanding paper award. And it's interesting for a perfectionist when you realise, wow, actually all that extra effort, if I had put in all that extra effort, would it really have made that much of a difference? And I think that's the thing for a lot of us perfectionists, is that we sometimes set standards that are just so unrealistic, and really they're not helping us, they're not serving us, they're just making us stressed and anxious and feeling inadequate if we don't meet these ridiculous standards that we put on ourselves. And it's interesting too when you start to say, well, hang on, this, say for an assignment, this assignment I've done, it's about here. Now, to get that much higher in my grade, I might have to put in this much effort, so much more effort. Is it really worth it? And I'm certainly not saying that we should have no standards or that you should do shoddy work, but what we're saying is for those people who really take things way too far, who do everything to the nth degree, and if that's you, we all admit it, we know we're out there. If that's you, then some of the strategies in this particular blog post can actually help you try to adjust the standards to something that you're comfortable with. Now, I do need to tell you that to start with, it will not feel comfortable. I felt massive discontent. I felt really uncomfortable with handing in work that wasn't done to what I saw as my standard. And it was hard because it was like, oh, my lecturer's going to think I'm dreadful. He's going to think I can't write. He's going to think my work's really bad. But I sort of had to talk myself into saying, well, hang on, look, this is as much as you can do in the time that you have available. Does it really matter if he doesn't think you're the A1 top perfect student in the whole world? No. And it's surprising when you start doing this, you realise, wow, actually, all that extra effort probably wouldn't have made that much difference anyway. So perfectionists out there is hope. If someone like me can get cured of this, then definitely other people can as well. And for me, the thing I always ask myself now, I really say, okay, based on this piece of work I need to do, what would be a realistic amount of effort that's fair? What would the average person do? And I might do a little bit more than that, but I certainly don't do double or triple or quadruple what I feel the average person would do for that particular piece of work. So I hope you find some of these ideas useful. Now, if you're a student and your school subscribes to the Study Skills Handbook website, www.studyskillshandbook.com.au, go onto the website, click on Things to Print, and you'll find a couple of sheets there, pages that you can print out. One is a 3-page document on managing perfectionism for students, and the other is the same type of thing but targeting for parents and teachers, so what they can do to help their students as well. Have a good day.